Members, good afternoon. We have a quorum. It is the appointed time. I call the meeting to order. First item, information papers issued since last meeting. It's a referral from a meeting between the Expo members and Kowloon City District Council members on the 2nd of May. The paper has already been given to members. Please take note. 2 items for discussion at the next meeting. The next regular meeting will take place on the 12th of October at 4:30. In relation to the items for discussion, the administration indicated that they would give us the items after this meeting. Once we receive the items for discussion, members will be notified. Item 3, support services for the ethnic minorities provided by the Home Affairs Department. Please invite Mr. Clarence Leung, Undersecretary for the Bureau, as well as his team to come in. In addition to Mr. Leung, we have Mr. Techi Wang, Deputy Director of Home Affairs, as well as Mr. Michael Kwan, Assistant Director of Home Affairs. Members, if you would like to ask questions, please press the Request to Speak button. We will hear from Mr. Leung. Please take us through the paper. Good afternoon. The government attaches importance to supporting ethnic minorities, EMs. Different departments and bureaus provide suitable support services to ethnic minorities. District officers cooperate with NGOs and local organizations to provide comprehensive and effective support for EMs so that they can better integrate into the community. In the last 3 policy addresses, there has been strengthened support for EMs. Some of them have already been implemented. I will give you some information. Support centers for EMs. In 2024, 2 additional ones were established. The total number has increased from 8 to 10. The center provides a multitude of activities and learning activities, say, for example, integration, inclusion courses, school support services, etc. In 2024, under each support center, an EM care team was set up to provide home visits, community reach services, and to disseminate government information. To dovetail the government's development plan and to take into account population increase in the Northern District and Tongchung, the EM Center under the North District and the Islands District have seen an additional care teams. Currently, the number is 12. As at the end of May 2026, the EM care teams have conducted 3,840 home visits, 410 outreach activities, and reach out to nearly 9,000 EM families and individuals. Through the Cheer Center and Hope Center, interpretation and translation services were provided. The last one, that is Hope Center, was newly added. We've added translation and interpretation services in relation to additional EM languages so that ethnic minorities will be informed of current affairs and information in Hong Kong. To strengthen support, under 10 EM centers we have set up Youth Network and Women's Network. That accounts for 10 EM centers. They provide support. We ask the networks to make use of special arrangements to organize exchange visit to the mainland for EM youths so that they can deepen the understanding of Chinese history and the core values of China, as well as the latest development of our country. There will be visits to Zhuhai and Shenzhen, as well as other mainland cities. In relation to EM women, we organize as workshops, support courses to help them with their, say, computer literacy. We've also organized courses and provide assistance for them to participate in a women's summit. In relation to other support services, the information has already been set out in the information paper. We make use of radios covering programs of EM languages to reach out to them. All in all, the support service under the HAD meets the needs of EM. Our services have received positive feedback. We'll monitor the changing needs of EMs and make adjustments to better suit their needs, as well as to help them integrate into the community. That's the end of my presentation, and I'll be happy to take questions. We have 13 members who have requested to ask questions. I'll read out their names. Mr. Brave Chan, Professor Lau Chi Pang, Mr. Chris Ip, Mr. Ken Wong, Mr. Lau Ka Kung, Ms. Chan Hoyan, Mr. Vincent Chang, Mr. Elvin Lee, Mr. Adrian Ho, Deputy Chair, Mr. Tang Fei, Mr. Albert Chong, Mr. Kenneth Lau, and then myself. 4 minutes each, question and answer included. Mr. Chan? Thank you. I received a lot of comments saying that compared to other places, in Hong Kong we have a very inclusive atmosphere when it comes to ethnic minorities. Your work has received recognition. A lot of work has been put in place by the district offices of the 18 districts. My concern is better integration into the community, say, for example, in terms of Chinese and local culture. If they have a better Chinese proficiency, it will be better for them to find work or do businesses. And that's in line with our country's policy on ethnic minorities. Do you have any activities to help them know the local culture better? Anything to improve their Chinese proficiency? I also have a question on behalf of my constituency. Well, we have a special program, a scheme to encourage birth rate. But what about something similar in the ethnic minorities? I think you need to consider from a more targeted perspective. Under Secretary, I thank Mr. Chan for his question. Indeed, the HAD has different measures to assist EMs to integrate. On a district level, we work with NGOs and local organizations to reach out to ethnic minorities in need to provide them with the support they want. Say, for example, in terms of Chinese language, and there are language courses, in particular Cantonese courses, organized in EM's support centers. There are also hobby classes on Putonghua as well. Language courses is not just confined to classrooms. Sometimes there'll be visits to restaurants or wet markets so that the participants can put what they've learned into use. As I said in my opening remark, starting from this year, we have set up youth networks in every EM center. There are visits organized for EM youths to go to the mainland. In my conversation with EM youths, they also like to go to browse and shop on the mainland. EMs are very active in relation to trying to understand our country and Hong Kong. Our target group accounts for about 4% of our total population. There are about 90 to 100,000 youngsters. That's the information we have. Well, if members ask for further information in terms of figures, we will get it. We'll get them from the Census and Statistics Department. Any follow-up question? No? Next, Professor Lau. I'm happy to learn about the support services provided by the HAD. There is something I'd like to ask. The views of the administration. In recent years, we've gone through COVID and a change in culture. There are a lot of ethnic minorities working as platform workers delivering meals. We are very happy to see this because it's a form of integration. But on the other hand, when they use the transportation to deliver meals, well, there are a lot of incidents, say, for example, breach of road regulations, using unlawful mode of transport or not abiding by the rules. I'm not criticizing them as such, but I would like to know if you have taken a step further covering this area. They need to be coached that if they are to integrate, then they need to abide by our rules. In a way, this protects EM by making sure that they are safe, and at the same time it also protects the safety of others. This has been going on for a number of years. We should lose no time, and the administration should start working on it as soon as possible. So that's the education on rule of law and its coverage. Undersecretary. Of course, an awareness to abide by the rule is very important. Ethnic minorities or not, Hong Kong is their home. And if they are to keep our home safe, then they will have to abide by the laws. Whether it's Chinese or ethnic minorities, it's the same. In this regard, the government has done a lot. This term of government has done a lot. Professor Lau asked about enhancing their awareness. In fact, at the end of last year, we have added another translation and interpretation center. We have 2 now. We offer news services in the news center. The center takes the initiative to translate government information for EMs. Regarding Professor Lau's suggestion, we will talk to the translation and interpretation centers. We'll ask them to take on translation of information relating to our laws and regulations so that they can have a better understanding.
Professor Lau, any follow-up questions? Well, I'm not saying that we should only focus on the EM platform workers to tell them what they need to do. I'm just saying, if you have some sort of action plan, when are you going to take action? Perhaps you can pilot certain arrangements at a certain location before expanding the arrangements to different parts of Hong Kong. We do have frequent interactions with EM groups, especially when we get things delivered. Do you have a brief response, Undersecretary? We do understand what Professor Lau said. Platform workers of any ethnicity should abide by the law. I will convey your views to the relevant departments to see how they can deal with the situation. And I also suggest Professor Lau to attend the panel on manpower meeting this Friday. We talk about specifically about protection of platform workers. They, of course, also have some responsibilities. All right, next, Mr. Chris Ip. Thank you, Chair. Thank you. I would like to thank the administration for providing this paper. And in the constituency that I serve, there are many ethnic minority individuals. And in my experience, I found that in many events, it is very hard to serve different groups together. I want to ask, for care teams, with the EM care teams, do we have specific care teams for the different ethnicities? Say in Yao Chun Wang, we have Nepali, Indian, Pakistanis. We have different ethnicities. And if the care teams do not have representatives of different groups, it can be very hard for them to do their work. I do understand the Home Affairs Department and the district officers are working hard on this, but I think we need to be more targeted in our direction. With the 12 care teams, they are distributed geographically, but in different locations, we have different distributions of ethnicities. In the past, we do have specific efforts for EM women with the different hobby classes. There are different considerations as different ethnicities have different cultures. So can we have different projects and activities targeting women of different ethnicities? I think we want to also focus on women in particular, because there is great labor potential to tap into. Often they would stay at home, perhaps due to religious reasons. Lastly, can we also do more for EM children in education? Many of them can speak Cantonese. They can perhaps even read and write Chinese. But then, due to their backgrounds, they are more close up. I hate to say this, but it's probably true. How can we really help them integrate into society? All right, 3 questions. Undersecretary. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chris Ip, for your questions and comments. I'll be succinct. For the EM care teams, they would have regard to the neighborhood circumstances, hire specific EM staff members, or engage EM volunteers. So it would already be targeted in some way. The Home Affairs Department also have the support teams, and the EM centers also have some sort of foci, for example, for Pakistanis and Nepalese. We have been working with a Pakistani and a Nepali organization to provide more services. I would like to thank Mr. Chris Ip for his observations. We are already working hard on this. In fact, with the different activities hosted by EM centers, we do see EM groups mixed with locals. For a Tuen Mun Center activity, we had a cooking class, we had people of different sexes, we have those who are Thai, Nepali, Pakistani. I think this is a way for them to really integrate into the community. As for children or youth education, as I responded to Mr. Chen Yung's questions, we do want EM youth to make use of Chinese more so that they won't be shy when they speak Chinese in public or use Chinese in public. And we also have staff members of EM centers as well as social workers helping them with life planning to see what kind of support they need, including language services. We will continue to work on these. Thank you. Mr. Ken Wong. Thank you, Chair. Paragraph 9 of the paper said, since April of this year, EM centers have established the Youth Network and the Women's Network. There are different workshops, mainland exchange activities, wellness classes held, and it has facilitated EM youth in making visits to the mainland and learn more about the history and culture of the country. I very much support this. I want to ask, what is the membership eligibility criteria for the youth network? What is the year plan for the youth network in terms of activities? What are the screening criteria for mainland exchange tours as well as national education? Will the Bureau be tracking progress of the EM youth's development to provide long-term follow-up and support? Thank you. Undersecretary. Thank you, Mr. Ken Wong, for your concern about EM youth development. I think with what Mr. Ken Wong said, especially at the very end, it is about following up with them in the long term, which is why we established the youth network in the first place. With the EM centers, they have all along been doing relevant work and hosting relevant activities for EM youth. But how can we actually continue to follow up on them and to ensure their participation and healthy development? For example, perhaps helping them with education and life planning. I understand such services are very popular among EM youth. As I said, this is the reason why we established the youth network. Another important part of it is that we want to engage the EM youth and help them build relationships with other EM youth so that they can grow together and support each other. And we only started the arrangements for mainland visits this year. They got the resident permits for going to China. And we will perhaps start with Guangdong province with the visits so that they can be surroundings that are more familiar. On appropriate occasions, we will perhaps tell them more about the history of GBA mainland cities and developments of the country to allow them to have a better understanding. In fact, when I communicated with EM youth on previous occasions, they had a sense of belonging towards the country as they grew up in Hong Kong. As Hong Kong is a part of China, they would pay close attention to developments of the country, especially with opportunities available in the country. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lau Ka-kung. Thank you, Chair. Hong Kong is a diversified and inclusive society. I'm glad that the administration is providing support to EMs so that they can better integrate into the city. With EM's communication in different parts of society, for example, to obtain public services, they would need interpretation services. And according to the paper, we have 2 translation and interpretation centers. In 2025 to 26, they have handled a total of over 10,000 cases. So on average, every day, each center would deal with 100-odd cases. I want to ask the administration if you have support for the centers to provide interpretation services. Do we have round-the-clock interpretation services to support EMs during nighttime or during emergencies so that their situations can be handled in a timely manner? We have 400-odd care teams and 12 care teams are EM care teams. Apart from supporting the service targets, in paragraph 6 of the paper, it talks about how care teams would make referrals if necessary. So I want to ask the administration, how can the care teams and EM care teams share resources or collaborate with each other? Is there some sort of standing mechanism to achieve synergy? Now, the general care teams may not know enough about the culture of ethnic minorities. How can they better identify cases where individuals need assistance, such as the hidden cases? Will we have EM care teams in all 18 districts of Hong Kong in future? That's my last question. Thank you. Undersecretary. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Lau, for your questions. We have 2 questions on interpretation services and care teams, respectively. Right now, we have 2 centers providing interpretation services in 9 languages. And Mr. Lau Kang talked about how EMs might need some public services. For the public services, the providers in, for example, hospitals would provide their own interpretation services for EMs, so please rest assured, Mr. Lau. As for whether we have round-the-clock emergency interpretation services, we do in Kwun Tong and Kwai Ting. Well, in the 2 locations, but then the services are actually available territory-wide. If needed, EMs can call the centers or send email or other WhatsApp messages, and the center staff will deal with the cases. We do have an emergency hotline that is manned by the center staff members as well. We have 455 care teams in the 18 districts of the city, serving different groups in Hong Kong, including EMs, including the EM care teams. And we also have EM care teams inviting EMs of their neighborhoods to become care team members. The EM care teams also provide outreach services as well as make home visits. If specific cases need the follow-up of EM care teams, referrals will be made. We actually learned of a case early last year. An EM female experienced 2 episodes of unfortunate traffic accidents, and they were in quite a dire situation in terms of finances and the family in general. And we have EM care teams working with the general care teams providing appropriate services, applying for emergency relief. And the general care teams also have a member who is an EM female cooking for the household. So there is some sort of synergy. In future, we will continue to pay close attention to the provision of services by EM care teams to see how we can do better. Thank you.
Next, Ms. Chen Hoyan. Thank you. There are a lot of EM people who are third generation immigrants of Hong Kong. In some government departments, say for example the Labor Department, they have strengthened support to EMs. We need to give them due recognition. But different EM groups have different needs. Their situations are different. There are some EMs that are grassroots and are of greater needs of our support. The 10 EM centers are run by different NGOs. They all have different opening hours. The group I mentioned, that is the group that is in greater need of welfare support, they have to wait till they finish work to use the service of the EM centers or during public holidays. Have you assessed the utilization of EM centers over the weekend and in the evenings? Would you consider that for certain EM centers with a greater demand for after normal office hours, the service hours will be extended to provide services to those in need? For some EM women, for different reasons, maybe family, maybe religion, they have to stay home to take care of their family, and they encounter language barrier problems. Will you talk to the Labor Department, the Employees Retraining Board, or some NGOs by providing more support to them? Say, for example, job fairs for EMs. I understand that there are some job fairs for EMs, and they've been quite successful. I hope that there will be such service available for EM women to help them find jobs. Currently, there are 2 centers offering translation and interpretation services. They handle a large workload. Will you consider expanding the service to more EM centers? This will better meet the needs of EM groups. Undersecretary, I thank Ms. Chen Hoyan for her views as well as her questions. In relation to the opening hours of the support centers, the EM centers, many of them open till 9 p.m. during weekdays. We also, if we want some to open, say for a day over the weekend, they do so as well. We'll monitor the situation mentioned by Ms. Chen. We'll make use of the care teams as well as the EM ambassadors. If help is needed, we will render the help. In relation to employment support for EM women as well as job matching, we're aware of this. In some EM centers, there are job and life planning services. In the Labor Department, there is a portal on their website so that they can find if there are suitable jobs for them. In relation to employment services for EM women, yes, there is more we can do at job centers. We have 2 translation and interpretation centers. In my reply to Mr. Lau Ka-keung's question, the scope of service of these centers cover the entire territory, offering services in 9 languages. Last year, we have added a center. If there is an increasing demand warranting an increase in service, we will do so. I thank Ms. Chen for her concern. Next, Mr. Vincent Cheng. Thank you. Well, the district care teams under the HYAB have done a lot of work I remember in the typhoon season last year, the EM care teams have done that job very effectively. They have explained the situation to EMs and they have been providing support. I think they will continue with the good work. I'd like to ask about youth. Well, Youth Network has just been established. It started about a few months ago. But what is the aim? You mentioned about unleashing their potential, but do you have any specific KPIs or goals for them to reach? The HAD and district offices have done a lot of work to support ethnic minorities. There are some ethnic minority people who have finished their university education or are in, say, middle management or some other professional posts. Do you have matching schemes for youths? For EMs, do you have any information about whether through these referral or recommendation programs there are EMs working in specific areas? Some EM university graduates told us that it was difficult for them to find a job. Well, for Islam tourists, they have encountered difficulties as well. The CSTB has been doing work in relation to halal tourism. Well, these are opportunities for EMs, and they will be able to find jobs in this field as well. Undersecretary. The member talked about the youth network, of which the work has just started. In my reply to a previous question, I said that the aim of the network is to provide a platform for us to continuously provide support and help to EM youngsters. This also serves as a platform for them to get to know people of different backgrounds so that they can support each other. We also make use of EM centers to organize different activities. Say, for example, invitation to Youth Development Summit. It's not just a one-day event. Participants are also invited to attend matching activities or support activities. There'll be site visits. Well, if some are interested in innovation and technology, then we take them to relevant places. Whereas others, if they're interested in culture and arts, then we will take them to the relevant venues. Last year, when I was talking to some EM youngsters, they might be from grassroots families, but there are opportunities for them to visit the mainland or attend summits. This help them boost their ability. We also work with local organizations and NGOs to organize activities for youngsters. Recently, I've been to a cooking competition that Mr. Vincent Chang was involved in. I do think that it was a very good event because it's not just about the participation of the youngsters themselves, but their families as well. Mr. Chang is right. There are more and more EM youngsters getting active in community work. We have EM district councillors, members of the area committee, the fight crime committee, as well as the fire safety committee. We have youth ambassadors. The number of applications increases every year, and there are more and more EM ambassadors. we make use of different support measures to encourage EM youngsters to take part in public affairs. Next, Mr. Alvin Lee. I give full recognition of the work of the government in their support of EMs. Just now, the Undersecretary talked about a meaningful support, the setup of centers, and also personal services. I would like to talk about support in the digital world. Hong Kong is being developed into a smart city. Government service is digital. There are more people using government apps. Say, for example, the I Am Smart. There is a utilization rate of about 70%. We understand that there will be about 100 apps being launched in Chinese and English, which will help EM ethnic minorities know about the services available and improve access. For youngsters, they are familiar with the use of smart devices. What do you do to avoid a digital gap and are there any ways to improve digital literacy? Undersecretary. I thank Mr. Lee for his suggestions. Well, when it comes to the use of e-services, more and more people, not just EMs, are interested and are using these services. We organize different talks and workshops in our support centers. There are specific targets. When it comes to the use of electronic services, youngsters are indeed very adept to it. We would like to provide support to specific groups, say for example, EM women, to make more use of technology. In April this year, we set up the Women's Network in addition to the Youth Network. We have courses on digital literacy, digital government services, or AI. We will step up our work in this regard so that there will be better access to e-government services. Any follow-up? No? Next, Mr. Adrian Ho, Deputy Chair. I really appreciate the work put in by the HYAB in support of EMs. It's not an easy task, and they have made achievements despite challenges. We are glad to see more and more ethnic minorities benefiting from the services. I have some questions, though. The information paper talks about the beneficiaries, but half of them are from Pakistani and Nepali origins. In the future, does the administration have any specific measures to strengthen penetration to ethnic minority groups with a lower utilization rate but with equally great needs? Well, so far there are 12 EM care teams, and their work is effective. Do you have any plans to expand the scope of to increase the number of EM care teams in areas with currently just one care team serving the area? Undersecretary, thank you. Of the 10 EM centers, we serve about 150,000 people a year. About 49.5% of the people are of Pakistani and Nepali origins. About 15% of them are of Indian ethnicity. we find that these groups are in greater need of the services provided by our centers. I mentioned about the two translation and interpretation centers. Both provide translation services and interpretation services in 9 languages. We make use of these translation and interpretation centers to provide information on government support available to them. Well, most of the people we've served are of these origins because their population is higher. And then there is a higher population of these groups in specific areas. Say in Kowloon City, we open an EM center where we receive more people from South Asia or from Thai. We try to understand their needs and Vietnamese as well. We try to monitor their needs and provide what they require. Last year, we realized that there would be a population increase in the North District and in Tung Chung. There will be more ethnic minority people living there. That's why we've added 2 more EM care teams there. We'll monitor the situation and take a dynamic view. If need be, we will increase manpower.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Tang Fei. Thank you, Chair. I have 2 questions. For the first question, about EM centers, they have hosted a variety of activities. I would like to praise their efforts. Now, we are trying to promote digital education for EM youth. Is it possible for us to provide AI learning outside of schools or some activities promoting digital education? I would like to declare an interest. I am a consultant for social responsibility for the BOC group. They are applying to operate a community living room, and at the community living room, they will provide training on AI platforms and tools on top of some traditional tutorial classes. I also want to ask, in EM centers, can we provide AI learning platforms and tools? For EM youth, if they want to do digital education at home, will they be lacking in terms of software? It may not be the case. I just want to ask about this. Well, my second question is, as some of the members pointed out, according to paragraph 9 of the paper, we have the youth network that have mainland tours to allow EM youth to have a better understanding of the history and culture of the country. We want to nurture core values in them. Well, in terms of international law, we looking to have them converted to become Chinese citizens in the end? Or is it because they are in Hong Kong SAR, they should learn more about the Chinese history and culture? For Chinese youth, it is more simple. We want to nurture core values in them to have a better sense of belonging towards the country. But for ethnic minorities, they are not necessarily ethnic minorities in the sense of the country's policy. I think we need to have some sort of definition. We may not need it today, but we really have to consider this. Thank you. Undersecretary. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Tang Fei, for the questions. For each EM center, we have activities and hobby classes for EM youth. AI is definitely a hot topic. We do have some activities on the subject. We will convey Mr. Tang Fei's views to the EM centers to perhaps host relevant hobby classes more so that EM youth can learn more about AI outside of schools. EM youth, after all, are youth of Hong Kong. Different departments of the government have held different activities for the participation of youth, and many EM youth actually actively participated in such activities. I would like to highlight here we have the Youth Link under the Home Affairs Department to support the development of youth, and that we have quite a number of EM youth joining the Youth Link network. As Mr. Tang Fei said about paragraph 9, I would want to say all of these groups consider Hong Kong home, and inevitably they would want to know more about the history and development of the country. For EM youth, of course, they would consider themselves as Hong Kongers. While they're of Pakistani or Nepali origins, they would cherish being a Hong Konger, and Hong Kong is definitely a part of the country. And since they're in the city, we want to nurture a sense of belonging and identity in them so that they can truly consider Hong Kong their homes. Thank you. Mr. Albert Chang, thank you. Chair, the government has worked hard in supporting EMs to integrate into the community, especially with youth. We have the youth network being an exchange platform, and we have arranged for visits for EMs to travel to the mainland. And I did observe in the past few years many youth activities had greater participation of EM youth, and I appreciate that. It really shows the Bureau has done much work. According to paragraph 10, we have the ambassador scheme for EMs. We have 170 ambassadors providing services to EMs in different districts of Hong Kong, and we also talk about how they would proactively reach out to EM families and youngsters to tell them about appropriate public services or activities. Can you share with us some success stories? If the arrangements are considered to be effective, will we expand the scope of the scheme so that more EM youth can benefit from the scheme? Thank you. Undersecretary, I think Mr. Albert Chang's question on the ambassador scheme for EMs, our goal is to help EMs integrate into Hong Kong. And for those who have already integrated, we want them to share their experience. We have families, we have youngsters involved. We want them to share their experiences, personal experiences. And they can also be supporters of EM youth who are trying to find their paths. For EM youth, perhaps they can tell them where they can play sports, or for EM women, perhaps they can tell them where to buy groceries. As for specific success stories, I think I can share one that I heard from my colleagues. The there was an EM ambassador who knew that an EM youth who had just completed secondary school education and their family thought they should not go into further education. Instead, they should seek further employment. And the ambassador actually changed their family's mind. And this EM youth is now 22 years old, I believe, and has obtained a higher diploma. I think with stories like this, it shows that EM ambassadors have really played their roles, and we have EM ambassadors actually serving 15,000 individuals before. It is quite a feat. I hope in future we will continue to provide support to newly arrived EMs so that they can integrate into Hong Kong faster and better. Thank you. Mr. Kenneth Lau. Thank you, Chair. Excluding foreign domestic helpers, we have approximately 300,000 EM youths in Hong Kong. I'm glad that the administration has multiple measures to support EMs to integrate into Hong Kong, but due to limited resources, there is still room for improvement, I believe, where we can provide better support. For EM elderly persons, for example, we have over 25,000 EM elderly persons in Hong Kong due to language barriers or the lack of referral channels or other factors. Many EM elderly persons are excluded from the mainstream elderly care system, and the general residential care homes for the elderly can't really provide services that are tailored to their needs in terms of, say, diet or culture or religious habits. So how can we provide better support to EM elderly persons to make sure we're providing them with appropriate services? Second, I would like to ask the relevant commissioner specifically. I want to ask, as the work involves Home and Youth Affairs Bureau, Education Bureau, Labor and Welfare Bureau, will we have a commissioner specifically to support EM and related matters to actually respond to their needs with in-depth involvement in the community? Thank you. Undersecretary. Thank you, Mr. Kenneth Lau, for your questions and comments. We have allocated much resource to help EM elderly persons integrate into the community, and we could see at EM centers many elderly persons are more than willing to take part in the arrangements of EM centers. So EM centers are aware of their presence and could provide appropriate services. EM care teams have also been actively making visits to EM elderly persons. On top of making visits, they would make appropriate referrals to social welfare organizations or specific government departments for assistance to be provided. So that is some sort of collaboration. In future, I believe EM centers will continue to pay attention to the needs of EM elderly persons. Well, about the question on a commissioner for EMs. As Mr. Kenneth Lau said, EM policy and services involve different bureaus of the government. The SAR government has a group led by the Chief Secretary on EMs. We have had good coordination and collaboration so far. We'll continue to pay attention to the situation to see how we can provide better support to EMs. Thank you. Any follow-up questions, Mr. Lau? None?
Members, do we have anyone who wants to speak in the second round for this item? If not, I will be the last person to ask questions. We see that when it comes to ethnic minorities, the issues are cross-policy and cross-bureau. But when we have questions to ask here, they will have to be directed to specific bureaus. But is it the right approach, Undersecretary? From the perspective of HADOHYAB, we would like to share with you the work we have done, the achievements we've made, and the challenges we've met. We are happy to receive views from members. We make use of the meetings to explain to members about the services we provide to help ethnic minorities integrate into our society. As I've said many times, Hong Kong is our home. Making this home warm and welcoming for ethnic minorities is also our goal. In relation to elderly services, services relating to employment, we are one government. We relate the views we have received to the relevant departments. As I said, there is a steering committee led by the Chief Secretary. It works on policy and services to facilitate the integration of ethnic minorities to the community. We aim to provide better assistance to them. That's the end of this item. I thank Mr. Leung and his team. We now move on to the next discussion item. That is the Hong Kong Performing Arts Expo 2026. We have Mr. Raislin Lau, Undersecretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism, to take us through the paper. I will hand the floor to the Deputy Chair, Mr. Adrian Ho, to chair the meeting for me. Thank you, Undersecretary. I thank Mr. Kenneth Fok, Chairman of the Hong Kong ADC, and his team. Can we now hear from Mr. Lau, Undersecretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism? Please take us through the paper. Paper 3813/2026-04. The government is committed to consolidating Hong Kong's position as the East meets West Center for International Cultural Exchange. We work to enhance collaboration. In 2023 to 2022 to 23, we have allocated $42 million to organize the inaugural Hong Kong Performing Arts Expo. We have organized it in October 2024 and attracted over 1,600 art leaders and practitioners from more than 60 countries and regions with an attendance of over 30,000 people. And we have facilitated agreements on tours and collaborations. Riding on the success, we allocate another $40 million to the Hong Kong Arts Development Council Hong Kong ADC to host the second edition of the Expo to implement the measures in the blueprint. We want to turn this into a mega event to attract practitioners, groups to engage in exchanges with Hong Kong practitioners to promote collaborations as well. This is a flagship activity. The Expo is a full display of our spirit of the 15th Five-Year Plan. We will play into our role as an East meets West culture. We need to groom talent. The first edition of the Expo has facilitated collaboration of different groups. Expo 2026 will provide more opportunities to learn. There is also an additional Hong Kong chapter focusing on local artists and small and medium-sized arts groups so that they can showcase their creativity and ability to program presenters. This helps to launch Hong Kong's art scene to the international arena. There will also be opportunities for them to learn and to broaden their horizons. The organization of the Expo this year marks our determination to enhance Hong Kong's cultural capability as well as other aim. We will closely monitor the situation and provide support to ensure the success of the Expo. I now defer to Mr. Kenneth Fok, the chairman of the Hong Kong ADC, for details of the preparation of the Arts Expo 2026. Thank you. Can we now hear from Mr. Fok? Thank you. I'm glad to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Hong Kong ADC on the second edition of the Hong Kong Performing Arts Expo. I'll call it Hong Kong PAX. I will go over the programs and as well as some other elements. On behalf of the ADC, I thank the government for their support and trust so that we can organize the second edition of this mega event. The first edition was successfully held 2 years ago. It has yielded positive results. It shows Hong Kong's advantage as a cultural exchange platform. It gives us the confidence to continue our work to promote collaboration. We have the second edition. Hong Kong PAX will further deepen exchange and collaboration to create more opportunities for local art groups and practitioners. We support the government in the implementation of the blueprint. We support the 15th Five-Year Plan. We want to showcase excellent pieces from Hong Kong, from GBA to the world. We also work towards integration of culture and technology. Perhaps I will make use of a PowerPoint presentation to give you more information. Well, before Mr. Fok does it, perhaps I'll ask members who would like to ask questions to press the request to speak button. Each member will have no more than 4 minutes. Mr. Fok. I will use a PowerPoint presentation to give you information about our preparation so that you will have a better understanding of our work. Well, the theme is passion and motion. I hope you feel the vibrancy and the energy. As I said in my opening remark, the goal is clear, which is to create a good platform for artists and stakeholders to engage in discussions and exchanges. We would like to support Hong Kong in the major policy of mega events and turning this into an industry. We want to make use of mega events and art tech. That's incorporated into our design. This is conducive to the cultural industry of Hong Kong to go global. What's Hong Kong PAX? Why did we organize this? According to different studies, the market for Performing Arts Expo is huge. Some said that it has a value of about $200 billion. It has registered rapid growth by about 4 to 5% over the world. This shows that the market is growing. The Asia Pacific accounts for a lion's share of the global market. China is going strong. The organization of the Hong Kong PAX is to ride on the good trend. We make use of this event to participate and to showcase China to the world. The first edition was 2 years ago. It was a difficult start. However, we have delivered some encouraging results. The event was well recognized and positively received. It's difficult to successfully organize the inaugural edition and have made some successful cases. A lot of people said they would come back. There are similar expos all over the world. The first one was Sinners in Canada. It started in 1984. In Asia, is PAMS in Seoul. It's Performing Arts Market in Seoul. It started 20 years ago in 2005. In Asia, in Shanghai, there was one that started in 1999. We are the newbie. We started our first one in 2024, but we have received sound support. We believe that the second edition will be more successful. The Hong Kong PAX will start mainly on the 9th and the 10th. We made use of a multitude of venues covering the East Kowloon Cultural Center. This is the latest venue we have to showcase art tech. We don't just use one venue. We have venues in Tsim Sha Tsui, Kowloon Bay, Central, Tai Kwun, Sichu Center, Academy of Performing Arts, Fringe Club. We want to provide a unique experience to visitors. It is a territory-wide event. There is public engagement. It's not just for those in the art group. From the 6th to the 9th, there are some prelude programs in Tsim Sha Tsui East. Tsim Sha Tsui East has a high pedestrian flow, so there will be a lot of people participating. This is an integration event of GBA. After the program, there will be a 2-day, 1-night GBA touring performing arts tour. These are our programs. There will be diversified programs and activities. Let me explain what international showcase and pitching are. Under international showcase, we invite proposals from different parts of the world. They will give us their audition clips for us to select the best. We have an international panel working hard, going through hundreds of clips to shortlist 15 out of 822 applications. We've shortlisted only 15, so it's crème de la crème. In the first edition, there were 305 submissions. Now the number stands at 822, which shows that this brand is well recognized. Pitching is a demonstration. It's not a full show yet. So there will be the work is at the conceptual stage. In addition, we have the Hong Kong chapter. We create this platform for local artists and small and medium art groups to showcase their work. We want to make use of this platform so that they will be able to have exchanges with international buyers and groups. We also have curated conversations, talks, exhibitions. These are regular segments. And there is an additional element is ESG, the sustainable development of culture and art. You may say there are similar events and similar platforms all over the world. What's so special about Hong Kong PAX? Well, we are the super connector and super value adder. We make use of the advantage of one country, two systems to bring in different groups and help local ones go global. We make use of the one country, two systems advantage as well as the scale created by the GBA. There are lots of people from outside Hong Kong who are interested in Hong Kong and would like to engage in exchanges. That's where our attractiveness lies. We have strengthened the bringing in element. We organized international showcase teams to tour in, say, Shenzhen. Some projects are being finalized. This also shows our attractiveness as well as our edge. Well, I'm not going to go into details about the public engagement. Between the 6th and the 8th, there are different programs covering dances, music, choirs, covering professional groups, schools, as well as some different parties. I believe that the weather will be good in October, and there'll be a lot of visitors during that time. Then this will highlight our concept under Hong Kong PAX. There are also partner programs. There'll be venues in Tai Kwun and WKCDA, APA, as well as China Performing Arts Agency. They will organize programs for the public. I'm not going to go into details about the GBA Performing Arts Tour. Publicity. We attach importance to it because it's a sizable event. We want more people to know about Hong Kong PAX. I'm not going to go into details. A month before the event day, in around September, we will step up our publicity. There will be advertisements at hotspots where there is a high pedestrian flow. We work together with 10 universities and the Hong Kong APA. We are looking for sponsors to buy student passes for students to take part. And that's a way to attract youngsters. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth Fox's presentation. That is very detailed. I can see the event is of large scale. We have 3 members waiting to speak. I'll read out the order in which members are going to speak. Mr. Albert Chuang, Mr. Crisip, and myself. I'll assign a 4-minute time limit. Mr. Albert Chuang. Thank you, Chair. I would like to thank the Undersecretary and the Chairman, Mr. Kenneth Fox, for the detailed presentation. In 2024, we hosted Hong Kong PAX. If I look at the figures, the attendees and the number of visits made. I definitely look forward to the Hong Kong PAX this year. I have a question, however. In Annex 1, it seems that we have 14 exhibitions held. We have the Hong Kong Chinese Orchestra, Hong Kong Ballet, roving performances. These are, I'm guessing, flagship activities, but these would likely require public investment. We should seek some sort of economic benefits from this. So I want to ask, for the success cases secured after the first Hong Kong PAX, how much actual economic benefits and long-term cultural benefits are brought about by such cases? And we have a $40 million funding to be injected. Do we have specific KPIs to make sure such funds are used effectively? I also note in the paper we want to have Hong Kong PAX promote integration of culture and tourism as well as public participation. And I note we have different cultural venues hosting the activities to create good vibes in the city. Do we have collaboration with the tourism board, the hotel sector, the retail sector to make sure we can radiate outside of the specific sector to really promote the mega events economy? Thank you. Mr. Reslin Lau, Undersecretary. I will speak first and then perhaps Mr. Kenneth can supplement my answers. While we only have 14 cases for the first Hong Kong PAX, I would want to say it has laid foundations for future collaboration and relationships. We have for different editions, different people attending, and in the long term, with the network built, we will truly develop into an international cultural center that is East meets West. Well, with the admission, depending on ticketing and forms, I guess we can talk more about the benefits. I'll perhaps let Mr. Kenneth Fogg provide further information. As for collaboration with different sectors, as Mr. Kenneth Fox said, we are collaborating with universities. We are, of course, also collaborating with the tourism board and other sectors to promote to different groups, including visitors, our activities. And as Mr. Kenneth Fox said, 3 days before the event, we will have activities held close to in the vicinity of East Tsim Sha Tsui, so as to give a taste of the event. Anything to add, Mr. Kenneth Fox? Well, the Undersecretary has talked much about this. I just want to provide more information about Annex 1. We have the Chinese Orchestra, Chongying Theatre Company, Hong Kong Ballet, Hong Kong Dance Company, etc. But we also have small and medium-sized arts groups as well as individual artists' performances included. I think what we want to do is to provide better support to small and medium-sized arts troupes for those who have less ties with international buyers and international groups. As for specific figures, I do not have them on hand, but I think we are taking the right direction. For example, item number 8 for the Expo program created by Mr. Leon Ko, it is an IP created by him. And after the performance in Hong Kong, discussions are underway with delegates from Australia, Canada, and other countries, basically helping such works go global, generating economic benefits for the individual artists. This is also beneficial. After the first Hong Kong PAX, the Arts Development Council is working on how we can have better progression. And for the first Hong Kong PAX, we are just trying to tread the path and see what would work. Thanks to people's support, we are now hosting the second edition of the event. We do want to create a long-lasting brand. With a long-lasting brand, it would be easier for the Arts Development Council to make adjustments. As this event is to be held every 2 years, we can have Hong Kong PAX in this year, and next year we can provide more resources for the arts groups to go global. We will have more certain outcomes with this. We also want to see if we can allocate more resources in supporting arts groups in going global. So it's not just about greeting each other at the events. We want to provide more support services. As for the French programs, we do have some activities to be held in Tsim Sha Tsui and Central. We are also partnering with venues and hotels to host perhaps cocktail events or some meetups with artists. We will review such work to see if we can boost consumption and tourism in neighboring areas further. As I said earlier, we do provide some options for people to stay longer so that they can make visits to other cities in the Greater Bay Area. This can help promote integration. Mr. Chris Ip, thank you. I would first like to declare I'm the Deputy Chairman of the Arts Development Council. With the following questions that I'm going to ask, I will be speaking in the capacity of a LegCo member. With Hong Kong PAX, it has indeed created an impact. It is about accumulation, and Hong Kong PAX plays an important role in Hong Kong's development as a center of cultural exchange. It is, as Mr. Fox said, for the smaller and medium-sized arts groups or individual artists, we want to provide a platform for them for collaborating with international groups and organizations. We have also Anna Low being a good example. If this is something that we have to do in the long term, can the government pledge that in future the administration will continue to support the work of Hong Kong PAX? Whether it should be the Arts Development Council carrying out such work, we can work it out later. But if we are to continue to have Hong Kong PAX as a cultural brand in the city, I believe it will greatly support the cultural industry, and in turn, the industry will support the event. So I want to see how we can truly support with this event the development of Hong Kong as a cultural exchange center. Undersecretary, thank you, member, for the questions. And thanks to Mr. Kenneth Fox's leadership, we have really set up a good brand. And even in a difficult position, the financial secretary with this has chosen to allocate funding to the first Hong Kong PAX. And we really want to develop this further. With the second edition of the event, we want to further polish the brand. In the long term, how can we support the operations of the event? I would ask the member to please rest assured the administration will make sure we will continuously successfully hold such a flagship event. And we already have quite a good beginning for the second edition, as Mr. Ken Fox said. We have received works, more submissions, we have more applications compared to the first edition. Basically, we're developing the brand and we're confident that we'll do better even in future. Thank you.
I have quite a deep involvement in this as well. In addition to resources, will the government give us undertakings in terms of policies? This time there are quality art groups coming from South America to Hong Kong. Can we help them go to the mainland for touring so that these quality pieces can be shown to audience on the mainland? If we get more policy support, if there is more coordination done with the mainland, I'm sure that is a form of effective assistance. I'm sure that this will send a very positive message to the sector. This is a good brand that we have built. We will continue to support it. There will be cross-bureau support and coordination. You talk about facilitating overseas art groups and artists to go to the mainland and bring them in. We will do that. We play an important function, bringing in quality groups to the GBA. Shenzhen is a focal point of ours. We want to give them an opportunity for them to go to Shenzhen to maybe explore development and exchanges. Well, that was something that's it's actually something done in the first edition as well. Mr. Falk, we are the actual organizers. We have that in mind. We want to do better and better, of course. We conduct reviews after the first edition. We discuss with the administration the views we have collected so that we can make the second edition better in terms especially of meeting needs. In addition, we'll continuously review the resources used in Hong Kong PAX. We want to make the most out of the funding we get while compressing cost. We want to create an event that is of high quality. The member talks about sustainability and continuity. Of course, we want it to continue. We thank the government for their staunch support. We have the duty to find resources from the community. We're working on it. Those who are part of those who support the organizers would also like the events to continue, and this is the direction we take. Last member to speak in this round is myself. First, I would like to commend the government. The funding might be a little bit smaller than the funding given last year, but still it was given without hesitation. We understand that the scale of the event is huge, so the use of public money is very important. Mr. Falk talked about continuity. Do you have any plans to introduce more commercial elements in the event? Will you ask for sponsors from the business sector? If we plan to expand the scale of the event, then that is something that we'll need. The Expo helps with expanding our pool of talent. Are there any tracking assessments on the participating groups and individuals? Do they have more opportunities? Do they get to expand after participation in the event? Do you have any tracking survey done? Well, this is a good brand. We attract more and more participants, and the quality of work is improving. Of course, there is a possibility of commercial sponsor. We will explore this. I think if it is a good brand, then there won't be any problem in getting commercial sponsors. In relation to talent grooming and building, I'll defer to Mr. Fogg. Well, in this regard, I will ask Ms. Zhang to answer. I'll first answer about continuity and sustainability. We closely monitor the use of resources. We are able to keep costs down mainly because of labor cost. In the inaugural edition, it was brand new, so we needed a bigger team. The team was subsumed into the ADC. So now the structure is simpler. It's not a dedicated team anymore. So we are able to reduce cost in this regard. We'll see if there is any room to reduce cost in, say, performance and exhibition. We want to use a smaller cost as possible. It won't be easy to find sponsors, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to do it this time. We're still in discussion with different parties. We have found special deals from hotels. We've also identified suppliers to give us support. We have got some special deals from airlines as well as other areas. Our team's working hard. They are having discussion with different suppliers to get special deals and concessions. I believe that we will be able to make some achievements in terms of sponsorship. Hopefully, we won't be doing it every 2 years. We offer services after the event, something like an after-sale service. For some groups, they encounter funding difficulties if they want to do tours. We'll try to help them as much as possible. Ms. Zhang. Well, there is a tracking mechanism in place. That's why we have identified the 14 successful cases. We asked them if their show has been purchased or if they've received invitations after pitching. We did tracking. That's why we can identify the 14 successful cases. After PAX is the start of work for us in a different area. We will track parties that have made contacts and have built networks. Artists are in general quite shy. They need assistance to get matched. We have allocated resources and funding. We plan that after the GBA tour on the 13th of October, we will follow up on the artists in our groups that we know from this PAX. In this edition, we have the new Hong Kong chapter. We use this to showcase these groups. We'll make use of our internal resources to help them expand into other markets. We're very confident that we can make good use of government funding. We'll be able to help them with networking and help them to go global. Any members who would like to ask questions? If not, next item, any other business? If there is none, meeting adjourned, and I wish the Hong Kong PAX all the success they deserve. Thank you.